Hi, it is Wednesday. We are going to continue today with fairies and sprites, and this will be it last week and this week. And I realize this is not everybody's cup of tea, but from the letters that I have received, it surprises even me how many people are aware of these little folk. So this is the one that I couldn't find last week for some reason. This is from Ireland, and her name is very pretty. It's Orlaith, um, but she has, apparently people call her Ori. Okay, Marianne, I'm writing from Ireland, and this may surprise you. I'm not asking about leprechauns, which we do have and believe in. I'm asking about banshees. My mother, she spelled mother apparently a Gaelic way. My mother's grandmother, sister was taken by a banshee when she was 3 weeks old. She was brought back. 1 day later, she was dead. The banshee cried and screamed for 10 days before Kathleen died. The Bobby was very fragile. She was sickly, but they knew when the banshee started screaming, she would be taken and die. This was over 95 years ago, but it still goes on. Do you in America know how to get rid of banshees, and are they in America? Oh boy. Okay, I have heard of them more in Canada than I have in the United States. In the United States, I hear about them more in Vermont, New Hampshire. I don't know if it's because of the woods. I have no idea. But I think, from what I understand, you are the only one that has written or ever told me that the banshee actually took the child. They scream and they carry on, but I never knew, or I never heard of anybody saying that the child was taken. You know, I often wondered when I heard these stories if maybe, I mean, everybody thinks it's the bad thing because of the screaming and the yelling and the carrying on all night long wailing. But does that maybe help a family too? Like you said, Kathleen was a sickly baby. Maybe this gave people, or maybe it made people realize that the little person wasn't going to live. So I don't know. I do not know how to get rid of them. I don't really know. I think this is part of life sometimes, but I really don't know how to get rid of them. Okay, this one is from Ed. Marianne, I show and raise cats. A lot of them never go out of the house. They are just indoor cats. I do have 4 cats that are just outside cats. After I listened to your YouTube last Wednesday, I think you just gave me the answer to something I was trying to figure out. I have a couple of really nice flower beds, beautiful flower beds, in my yard. A fountain. It's so very, very pretty. And the 4 outside cats will stay around me when I work in the flower beds. But after a while, something scares them out of the beds. I look to see if something stung them, but they jump out like they are really, really scared of something. And the one shakes his paw like he's trying to get water off. Sometimes I see a little flash of light for a sec or two. The cat will jump out. Could this be fairies or sprites? Yes, Ed, I believe they are. And beautiful yard, beautiful flower beds. This would be wonderful for the nature sprites. They would love it. But I'm thinking that they probably think that the cat are messing with the dirt and scratching and going potty in it. So I'm thinking that they are probably scaring them out. So I hope that solves your little problem, but I believe that's what it is. Okay, this one is from Deanne in Delaware. We have tried to sell our house over the last 4 years, 2 or 3 different times. Lots of lookers. Everyone says the house is beautiful. It's in a nice neighborhood, well taken care of, landscaped, actually priced below the other houses in the area. The last real estate agent we had, when she asked us after we had listed with her for 2 consecutive times, 4 months each time, to relist, we said no. We're going to take it off the market for a while. Then she said under her breath, but we did make her repeat it, she said, the gremlins don't want you to sell the house. Can this be? And yes, if the sprites or the fairies, and I wouldn't call them gremlins because that is a connotation of them being like nasty, but if they do not want you to sell the house, you won't sell the house. They can block it. And I've talked about this with ghost stopping a sale also. But the fairies, they work a little bit different. Especially if it's a yard that's taken care of and a house that's taken care of, they're worried that somebody is going to come in that isn't going to take care of it as well as you do. So let me give you a couple of hints that you can try. This has worked for other people. These little folk absolutely love a lot of human food. So on a day that somebody is coming in to look at the house, or say you're having an open house, take a little lid, just a little lid off of a jar, and put some milk in it, and then put a teaspoon or 2 of honey in it, and place one of these little lids around any door where people are going to be coming in and out of to look at the house. Like, you don't have to put it around a door in the service door in the garage, or they're probably going to come in the front door, so that may be the only door you actually need to have this. This is such a treat for them that they will leave the house and they will go out and drink the milk. Do not put a soup bowl out or a saucer out. Remember, they're about this big. They don't need to go swimming in it. All they need to do is drink it. And you will be surprised how far it goes down. The other thing that you can do is get rose oil, and good rose oil, and take a cotton ball and put some on the cotton ball. And at the door that they're going to be walking in, about shoulder high, take that cotton ball and dab it just on both sides of the doorway, so that when people walk in, they get a whiff of the rose oil. Now, I know a lot of people will bake cookies or bake something with yeast dough so that the house smells really, really good. And I think that when we were looking for houses, if I smelled the cookies baking or the yeast dough, for some reason I always thought to myself, what's the odor that they're trying to hide? Of course, that's me. But I don't think people expect the rose smell. So try that, and I think you may be surprised how well that works. Okay, this one is from Mona in Pennsylvania. We have birds, parrots, 8 of them, various sizes, various types. We have had these birds for about 15 years. We just love them. They are great company, and they make us laugh. And you wouldn't think a bird could be a companion, but they really are. 6 months ago, we got an Amazon that was a rescue. No feathers no feathers. He totally plucked his feathers out, and he was in a bar. And so, because of the smoking, he had sort of bad lungs. He has sort of bad lungs. Um, but the main thing about this bird is that he swears like a trooper. You really can't have any company over, or we have to lock him up if we have company because his language is horrible. Since we have had Taco, in the middle of the night, there is all this noise coming from the bird room. It's an odd noise. It does not happen every night, but it happens maybe every 2 or 3 nights. And in the morning, the food cups are empty. Birdseed is everywhere. The birds are upset, very anxious. There's feathers, like they're plucking their feathers out. They're scared about something. Even where we keep the bird seed, the container is turned over. Sometimes it's been opened, and we just can't figure out what this is. We put a monitor in the room to see what's going on, but every time someone or somebody flips the monitor over or turns it face down, so we can't see anything. The birds certainly can't do this, but it's only since we brought Taco into the group. We've caught a shadowy figure of something out of the corner of our eye when we first go down in the morning after a mess has been made. And it's about the size of Cousin It from the Addams Family. Is this a ghost? Okay, no, this is not a ghost. This is definitely the wee folk. The one thing that they absolutely love is millet, birdseed. They just love millet. And it's not surprising that a lot of people that raise or have birds have a problem with this. They come in and they will try to get into your food bin, your storage. They will gouge themselves on this bird food. They don't hurt the birds, of course. The birds, like you say, they're upset over this. And this is interesting. You said not every day. Once a wee folk, whichever one it is, eats the millet, they leave and they can't come back for 24 hours. So that's why it doesn't happen every night. And if anybody ever needs the recipe to get rid of them from your home, millet is included in what you need to do that. And again, I'm not going to do that here. It's time consuming. But if somebody is interested in getting that recipe, write, call, do something. And another suggestion is put your bird seed in a really strong metal can, or remember the Lay's potato chip cans or the Charlie Chips cans? They can't open those up. They're pretty good though with rubber type containers that have lock lids. Those, for some reason, they can figure out. So definitely anybody with birds, especially more than one, usually has some kind of a problem with this. Okay, there were a couple comments from last week. The one said that she knew for a fact that they do not like iron, and she is 100% correct. This is another thing that the people with birds, or if you think you've got them in the house, take a canning jar and put nails in it and cap it up and stick it by your doors that go directly to the outside. A lot of times they will not come in the house if iron is out like that. The other thing is, another one was Native American Indians are very friendly with these little wee folk, and they said that they could be very helpful, but they could also be very tricky. And every time they've done anything to help them, they've always left them out a little treat. Plus, another one said that they love water. Well, yeah, they do, especially if they're a water sprout, a sprite. Okay, the law of abundance is this Friday, the 16th. It's 3:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So write out your check according to your time zone. Mercury retrograde has started, and this one's going to be a beaut, especially because we have the blue moon this month. It's not over till the 4th of November, which should make for a very interesting presidential election. And again, we do have the next full moon on Halloween, which is a blue moon. And on Saturday the 24th, I will be at the Goddess Elite from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. Masks, social distancing. People are wanting books signed for gifts with the holidays coming up. They're looking for some of the product that, we've got from the store, and we will have it there. It will be, like I said, very, very social distancing. It will be very, very up and up. And if you would like more information on that, you can go to my website. It's definitely on there, and it's on the newsletter that comes out today. So you should be able to, get information on that. Okay, next week we're just going to be taking regular questions, nothing like this. But I'm glad I touched on it, even though it was, like I said, this hasn't been everybody's cup of tea. But not everybody likes everything. So have a great week, and we will talk next week. Thank you.